When it comes to maker projects and IoT devices, one microcontroller brand has kind of stood out above the rest, and it's the ESP32 by Espressif. The ESP32 has spawned some of the coolest devices that have come out in recent years, and today's video is on the ESP32-C5, which just might be the most important microcontroller to have come out in recent years, and for good reason. It's built on RISC-V, it has dual-band Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth, and it's really low power. Now, historically speaking, the ESP8266 and other ESP32s in Espressif's catalog were limited to Wi-Fi 4, so 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, and most IoT devices are connected to 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, which is perfectly fine. But this marks a shift in Espressif's architecture, in its ecosystem, because they're offering cheap IoT enterprise-grade wireless features on a microcontroller. Now, the C5 also continues to reinforce Espressif's vision of moving away from proprietary CPUs like what's on the S3, the Extensa processor, which is perfectly fine. This is a great CPU, but this modernizes and future-proofs any licensing dependencies, and it keeps it fully open source, which is really nice. Also, keep in mind that the C5 was designed for the post-IoT boom era, so you're kind of like working with networks that are less crowded, security is often optional, and power efficiency was kind of secondary. In my hand is the official Espressif ESP32-C5 Dev Kit. We'll be going over its features, what it has, what it's capable of, as well as flashing it with the Bruce firmware. Now, keep in mind, while we're using the Bruce firmware, we're going to remember to only test our own hardware and not test anything that we don't have permission to test. We're in a closed environment, some of the features that we show are educational, and just keep in mind that although this is a very nice educational tool, don't be a skid. Now, unlike other ESP32s and Picos and other microcontrollers, there are very few iterations of the C5, and I mean in terms of development boards. You have Seed Studio coming out with their version, M5 Stack is also working on their own C5 dev board IoT devices, and other companies like Waveshare just recently released their C5 dev kits. It comes in this really nice box, and we can push it aside and open it up very carefully. There we go. And we get the Espressif logo on the bottom. Turn it over and open her up. Now, the headers are pre-soldered, which, I mean, is okay. I kind of wish that they had them without the pre-soldered headers, but depending on what you're working on, I mean, this can be very useful. Some people don't have access to a soldering iron, and if you don't, well, they come pre-soldered. Now, on the top right here, we have our ESP32-C5 Room 1, which comes with a built-in antenna. I wish this was the version that had a UFL connector for an external antenna, but it doesn't. Those are very rare, unfortunately, and hopefully in time they'll become cheaper and more readily available. This board is capable of 3.3 and 5 volts, which you got that little regulator right there for it. It has a color-changing Neopixel 1 boot, 1 reset button, as well as this jumper right here being the kind of regulator. It's labeled J5 if you look at the specifications, and if your device needs 5 volts, then you want to remove that jumper. If you want to keep it at factory settings, 3.3 volts, then you want to keep that jumper on. This is your main Type-C port. A lot of people ask why it has 2 USB-C ports. This is a USB to UART port for like debugging, and this is where you do most of your flashing, and just worry about this one if you want to follow along in flashing Bruce on this. All your pins are labeled and they speak pretty much everything. I2C, SPI, UART, you name it, it has it. Now, the C5 doesn't just have Wi-Fi 6 for speed alone. It's there for like congested apartment buildings, industrial IoT, smart cities, and yeah, penetration testing and ethical hacking. Now, the C5 is a 32-bit single-core RISC-V processor with clock speeds of 240 megahertz. And a lot of you might be thinking, oh, the clock speeds of 240 megahertz, does that make this as powerful as the S3? No, it does not. But it is low power and it has dual band. The S3 is built on an Extensa processor, which makes it suitable for AI tasks, simple AI vision projects, and that's why you see a lot of AI assistant S3 projects. C5 also supports external flash memory like QSPI and external PSRAM, which Hopefully we'll see on more dev boards in the future. It supports complex firmware like the Bruce firmware, packet processing, real-time wireless tasks, secure boot, and encryption. And the security features are excellent. We're talking about anti-rollback protection, hardware key isolation, ECC acceleration, RSA acceleration, SHA acceleration, AES acceleration, hardware true random number generators, flash encryption, and as we mentioned before, secure boot. Now as for development systems, it supports platform I/O, the ESP IDE, as well as the Arduino IDE, but we don't gotta worry about that. We have a web flasher thanks to PIRATA, aka BMORCELLI. This video is not sponsored by anybody, but the next time you see an open source project, throw that developer a star, because without awesome developers like BMORCELLI and other really cool people who have helped inspire, educate, and further people's education in the world of IoT, ethical hacking, penetration testing, and just general making, supporting the developer goes a long way. And while you're at it, if you could like this video, share, maybe subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Now before we plug in our device, we want to make sure that that jumper is firmly connected. If you want, you can bend it down. I don't want to bend it down, so we're just going to keep it firmly connected. Also, you want to make sure you have the CP210X drivers downloaded from the Silicon Labs website. If you need the link, it's in the description. Please download these drivers before plugging in your ESP32 device. Any ESP32 device. So many people ask me what they're doing wrong. It's because you do not have the drivers installed. Please install the drivers. Now we'll be flashing using Windows, and before you ask me why I'm not showing you how to flash it using Linux, and that is because if you are using Linux, I should not have to show you how to flash a microcontroller using Linux. You got this. Let's begin.
All right, from here, we're gonna head over to bruce.computer/flasher. Here, basically, we can flash our device. We wanna click beta ESP32 and then ESP32-C5 connect device, and we wanna pick which COM port we're in. If you wanna make sure that the device that you're trying to flash is your device, you can disconnect, reconnect, then click it, and after you press connect, it'll prompt you to install the Bruce firmware on your ESP32-C5. We can click ESP32-C5, click erase device, and we just wait. Now I've speeded up just for effect, but it'll take about a minute and a half at best. Once it's done flashing, you can hit next. From next, we can hit that X button. After we hit X, we can go to Bruce Lab. Now here, it might take a few tries to connect. If it doesn't connect, hit F5 on your keyboard, refresh your page, and hit connect again. About maybe 2 or 3 times, just let it sit and it will connect in the end.
Now you know you flashed it correctly and everything is kind of in order when that purple light is flashing purple. Once that light comes on, it means everything's fine. Let's get back to it.
Once it loads, we have our menu from here. We can hit Navigator, and from Navigator, there you have it. You have Bruce through serial. Now, mind you, this is an example of what's to come when it comes to IoT devices using the ESP32-C5 that will be running Bruce and be Bruce compatible. From here, we have everything that we know and love in the Bruce firmware. You can add different modules like an NRF module, a CC1101, a PN532, an SD card module. We have BLE spam, BLE scans, BLE sniffing, as well as different Wi-Fi sniffing, Wi-Fi attacks, and just the entire full functionality of Bruce, which is kind of amazing. Now, keep in mind, we are in a test environment, so everything that we are doing, we are testing on our own hardware, and that's kind of the way it should be. We're ethical hackers. We have to stay ethical. Everything that we do is in the realm of what's allowed and permitted within our region. But the fact that we have Bruce this far and we can do what we want on the ESP32-C5 running Bruce, I gotta give BMORCELLI props for this, because this is sick.
Now, we've started a BLE spam, and it's doing a pretty good job. The ESP32-C5 is not as elusive as it was a couple months ago, which makes it more readily available to developers to build around its dual band nature. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for the love and support. Please like, share, subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and it helps me, and I'd appreciate it. We'll see you next time.